Where it might get tricky is this part here on drawing in the contours, right? There's some important concept here with depressions, and what we use for depression contours, these little hatchet lines here. Make sure you understand these figures here, because they're going to help you figure out what's going on with this problem on the next page, because there are some depression contours right here. So the key thing here is that we got a 20-foot contour interval. And one of the key rules, so remember the one that is really important is the rule of V. And remember that rule is that the V, that closed end of the V, points uphill, which means the creek would be going downhill, right? So as an example, you can see there's some V's here. See that there's a V right there, there's a V. So whenever a contour line crosses that stream, that river there, it makes that V. And so that must mean that this is higher elevation up here, lower elevation going this way, right? And you can see there's another little sets of V right here. So there must be another stream coming through here, and it's moving down in that direction. So once you establish that, then you know that areas to the south of the map here are going to be higher than areas to the north, right? So things are sloping back down toward the north. Now you can start filling in. For example, this must be, since we've got a 20-foot contour interval, this must be 740, right? So what I would do, wherever there's a blank space here, put the elevations in here. And when you get to the contour lines, make sure you understand that as you move up, that this elevation should be the same as a preceding elevation, right? So there's a rule of V right there. And then this page here, we're going to be drawing contour lines, right? So this part of the map is just like, we're going to put the elevations. That's pretty straightforward. That's kind of what you did on this map here. But here, it's something new. And we have some numbers here already. And the key thing about drawing in these contour lines is you have to, so whenever a contour line crosses a stream here, emphasize that rule of V, right? Going up in there. Then if you come up here, we put the little V in there. And remember, the V points uphill. So this water is going from the hill down to the ocean over here, right? So you can see they've emphasized the V's right in there. And we're doing every 100-foot interval here. So for 300, so this must be 300 right here. We would draw our line going 300, do a little rule of V there, come down. Well, that must be 300 right there. So we'll actually just go through that point right there. And then through there, and then do another rule of V there, go through there, and that's probably 300 up there, and we're going off the page there, right? And so for 400, so this must be 400, and this is probably 400 as well. So we come through here, do the rule of V, come through there, that's 400 right there. And then we'll do another little rule of V, that's probably 400 right here. So some of these you have to kind of estimate their elevation there. And then we're going off the page, right? So try to finish that map off there. And that's sort of what I'm looking for on that part. And then finally, for these profiles, the key to this is that wherever a contour line crosses this profile line, A to A prime, which is going to be represented here, we need to write that elevation down here. But the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out your lowest point. So the lowest point on here is probably 700. So we got a 20-foot interval. So this is down here is probably 680. 700, 720 over here, 740, 760, 780, and then we have 800, right? So the highest point we're going to have is about 800. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this line up here 800, this 700, and this 600, right? So that means every little square is 10 feet, right? So every 2 is 20 feet, right? So when I draw these, again, wherever a contour line crosses this line of section, you put that elevation. So this is 740 right here, right? I'm just following this 740 down here. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this and go straight down to there's 7, 10, 20, 30, 40. Put a tick mark right there. Then I come to this one here, and I go down, that's going to be 760. And I go down, there's 40, 50, 60. Put a tick mark right there. Then that's 780, right? So I go to 780 right there. Put a tick mark there. And then note that I don't hit 800, but I go around and I get back to that 780 again, right? So I'm going to put a mark right there, 780, put it there. And so when I draw these, I know that it's not flat. It's going to curve up not quite as high as 800, but then it'll start going back down the hill, right? And then back to 760 here. And then, oh, we don't get to 740, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little mark here and put ST for stream to note that there's a creek there, right? Because the contour line doesn't quite hit it there. But then I come back here, I hit this contour line, and that's 760 again, right? So I go down to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 right there, right? So what's happening here is that you're going to draw, you're not going to go as low as 740, but you're going to put a little V there for a stream, and then it's going to come back up that way, right? So what I'll let you do, I'll let you finish off the rest of the map all the way to, so remember you're going 700 here, 720, 740, 760, and this is 780 up here. So you're going to come across here, you're going to go down into this stream valley, another stream there, and then you're going to go back up the hill, right? So I'll let you finish that up, and I have some instructions on how to do this here at the bottom of this map. All right, well that's it for now.